It's not my fault.
Yeah.
I don't blame. We ran out of shitty comedians to talk about. There's like 3 of those guys.
All right.
And there's actually, you know what? You remember Tom Flood?
I don't.
Tom Flood, I don't even know if I wouldn't really classify him as a shitty comedian. He was like, oh, fuck, Mike Diesel.
Ooh.
How have we not talked about old Mike Diesel? Yeah. Oh, man, I'm glad I remember.
Tell that fucking story, though.
Okay, so Mike Diesel is this little fucking, he looks like, you remember that show U.S. Acres? It was it was part of Garfield and Friends.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Remember Garfield and Friends, the TV show? It was the Garfield TV show. And then it would cut to the farm scenes where there was like, the Roy, the chicken.
Yes,
Sheldon.
yes.
And then Orson was the pig.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Orson had 3 older brothers that were like bully pigs. So Mike Diesel looks like the bully pig older brother. He's this like stout fucking like, I think his real last name is Cuccarini. He's this like stout fucking, just real
Diesel.
Yeah.
His stage
just
name.
real, and it's great.
Best.
If you do a Bing image search for Mike Diesel, the first like 3 pictures of him, the next one's something like guy deadlifting 600 pounds, and then the one underneath that is like 3 dudes sucking each other's dicks. But so yeah, Diesel was fucking. Did you not? You don't know Diesel, Adam?
No,
no.
He
You
was
met.
before my time.
I barely met, but I only came in contact with him once at an open mic.
Yeah, well, he was great. He was like a pathological liar, and he would tell these stories where they were harmless. He was like that much of a liar where you never had to worry about the stories. But he was telling, his act was fucking. He was so happy when the Iraq War started because, like, he would go on stage and he would start doing his Iraq War bit about like, George Bush and Saddam Hussein, blah blah blah. And then halfway through the bit, it would at some point he would be like, and Ross Perot's over there like, hey, and he would do his Ross Perot impression, and it's like, oh, you wrote these jokes 10 years ago. You're just cycling these back.
Wait,
in.
you were doing comedy like at the beginning of the Iraq War?
No. I started in 2005, so 2 years in.
Okay, word.
2 years into the war. Yeah, but so Diesel, he would tell all these fucking lies, and one time he tells this story about, he's like, so I'm at a bar, right? I'm at a bar, and say anything you want to me. Say whatever you want to me. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna have a problem with it. He's like doing that thing that guys do where they do the tough guy thing where it's like, you say whatever you want to me, but if you come after my friends, I'll fucking kill you.
Right.
He's like, say whatever you want to me, I don't care. And there's this guy at the bar, and he's talking a bunch of shit. He's like a shit talker, causing a ruckus or whatever. I'm not thinking about it. But then he steps on my wife's foot, and that's just a line you don't cross. So I say, you better fucking apologize. And he's refusing to apologize. So I grab him. I get him in a headlock, and I take him down to the ground. And I get him down to the ground, and I have him there, and I can feel his life slip out of my hands.
What? Yeah. He murdered someone?
because, and so, like, people are just listening to Mike tell, because he bullshits all the time. They're like, go on.
Right,
and he's like, yeah, and the wait staff, they said, Mike, we saw what happened. We'll take care of this for you. And so he told a story about how he murdered somebody at a bar, and the wait staff,
stepping on his wife.
Yeah, and the bar was like, hey, that's Mike Diesel, famous comedian.
Yeah.
We're going to fucking let him go.
Doesn't he have that other thing about the advice?
He told another story about story about being at a fucking bar one time. He's always at a bar. He's always got these like bar stories that he tells.
This was a headliner he was working with?
Yeah, he's working with a young comic named William. Really good comic. Everyone knew this guy was going to be big. And he says to me, Mike, if you just took the impressions out of your act, you would be the greatest comedian I've ever seen. And that was Bill Hicks. And the best part is, he still has impressions in it.
You didn't take Bill Hicks' advice. Oh my god! I had a teacher in high school that was a former LAPD vice cop and a pathological liar. He made up stories. Like we would fact check a bunch of them, but one of them actually we thought was a lie ended up to be almost true.
What was it?
He was saying that during his time in the LAPD, he worked security detail for like movies, and he's like, yeah,
I was a big fan of Cosby. We smoked cigars together on set, and I was like, whoa, you worked on movies? He's like, yeah, I was in a couple movies. And we're like, what was the name of the movies that you were in? And he's like, Disco something or other. And we're like, what?
I don't remember the name.
He's and I was like, do you have the movie? He's like, oh, my fucking ex-wife, she has the movie, but yeah, I used to have it on tape, but and then it was the first time I'd ever used IMDb. I looked it up, and there was a blaxploitation movie directed by this guy, Fast Black, and it was called Disco 9000, and he was a Vice Cop #2, Richard Warren. He was
that's weird.
It's like this movie.
Pathological liars. They'll have one or two stories that are real, but then they sound like bullshit like the other ones.
Well, he used to tell us stories that were like, he was like, and then she died in my arms after dropping charges from the scumbag beating and raping her. I finally came and it was too late, and I'll never forget that day, April 31st, 1968. And then we're like, my friend was like, yo, there's no April 31st. That's not that's not a day.
Yeah, no, Mike told it. I forget who told me this story, but Mike had said I think it was Rob Mayer. He told Rob Mayer at a party, it was like, he's like, hey, Mike, how you been? And Mike goes, pretty good. Went fishing with the Clintons on the weekend. So he said, him and his wife went, me and Patience went fishing with the Clintons. And so I guess, Bill and Hillary Clinton are good friends with Mike Diesel, the booker of Wiseacres Comedy Club.
The defunct for 6 years. Wiseacres Comedy Club.
Yeah, so they went fishing. And then at the party later, he sees Mike's wife, and he's like, I was hanging out with the Clintons all weekend. And Mike's standing right there, and his wife looks at Rob, and she's like, what are you talking about? And Mike just like, on The Simpsons when Homer like is talking to Flanders and his brain just like disappears or whatever. Yeah, Mike just fucking stonewalls him and pretends like it didn't happen. Mike one time he invited me to. He goes. He's like, I throw a party every year. It's the only time I do cocaine with my wife. It's at this party. It's called the East Coast Comics Convention, and basically every comedian on the East Coast is going to be there. Which is like, Mike, that's like 45,000 people. Is it Burning Man?
Coast Comics Convention.
Yeah, and he goes, it's at my house out in. He lived out in West Virginia somewhere, and I did a show at a Fish Head Cantina. Is that
yes.
it? Yeah. It was in like Rivera Beach or some shit.
No, Fish Head was in fucking Arbutus or like in Catonsville.
Yeah, that's where it was. It was Arbutus. And so the party was at Mike's house, but after that. And I drove out there. I followed Mike Stork and Cat Malone out to this fucking party, the East Coast Comics Convention. And, but I know Mike's a liar. So when he says every comedian on the East Coast would be there, I'm like, okay, like a couple of guys I'm friends with. It'll be a party, I hang out and have fun. And I get there. There is literally no one.
No, that's sad.
It's
that
Mike.
is sad. That's sad.
Mike on the couch. He's in his lazy boy with his fucking legs up, and he's got a fucking Afghan draped over his legs. He's petting a shitty old dog, and his wife's like, come on in, And Basil White is asleep upstairs. And there's a fucking cat eating like part of like one of those long catered subs on the table.
That's a nightmare.
And I had driven from like Baltimore basically to West Virginia. Yeah, it was like an hour and a half. We drove out there, and that was the night. So we're all like getting high and shit, and it was me and Mike, Diesel, and Stork, and then I think Basil woke up, and we're like. You know how Stork is. We're like, like just go off, and he's talking about like neurotransmitters or whatever, and they're talking about like therapy and shit. And Mike says at one point, he's like, it took me a long time to find a good therapist, and I had a lot of people that tried to be nice to me, and it really took someone to just sit me down and say, no, Mike, this is what happened to you, okay? You were fucking raped. And, immediately I'm like, fuck you, asshole. And he's like reenacting like the
Whoa.
scene from Goodwill Hunting or whatever. He's like, fuck you, because that's why. Because fuck you is why, But eventually I just had to accept it. And I mean, I know Mike's lying. He wasn't fucking raped.
Wait, you think
He's
that's
just
also
casually
a lie?
mentioning being raped as...
Yeah, but that's the kind of shit he would do.
Wait, rewind. Wait, he was doing a scene from a movie?
Well, he's always like all of his because he's a liar, so
Yeah,
all of his
right.
reactions to things are like shit he saw in movies.
Right.
So,
That's
he's like, and then they tried to say my coupon wasn't invalid, and I said you can't handle the truth. It's like always this dramatic interaction with people where he's like, coming out on top. But yeah, that was the best part of that. Oh, and I went down to his basement to get like a soda or something. And so he's this big, fat, fucking piece of shit. But he's one of those fat guys. It's like, he told Andy Klein one time, somebody was talking about working out, and he tells Andy, he's like, yeah, I've been working out a lot. I'm actually down to 0.4% body fat.
Like Ray Lewis in his prime had 6% body fat.
And he's like, Mike, we can see you. just say that.
He was fat.
He was fat as shit. He's fucking bigger than Stavros. He was like twice the size of Stavros. He's at 0.4% body fat. That's like a fucking Auschwitz victim.
That's
It's like
not even
0.4% body fat.
Yeah, like peak athletes are at 8%.
But
Yeah.
that's not that's not even like believable.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the
very
kind of shit
bad
he would
at.
say. Yeah, I'm down to 0.4% body fat. So yeah, I go down to his basement and he's got his little workout area, which is like a bench, like an adjustable bench, and then just two 50-pound dumbbells. It's the only thing. Just doing like one fucking swinging curl with his fucking pigly arms, and that's his whole exercise regimen.
Fuck.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm
We got
glad
some
I
nice
remembered
stuff.
him. We'll save Tom Flood for the. I'm glad. What's funny? I was trying to like pick my brain, trying to think of like a shitty comic I haven't shit on yet.
I'd love to. Maybe next episode we'll get into really deep into Dave Schofer.
Yeah, Dave's
He's
good.
a fucking.
Dave's
gem,
always
dude.
been nice to me, but apparently people fucking
Are
hate
you
him.
kidding? Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Uncle
Plain
Dave
joke.
comedy.
Uncle Dave
Yeah.
comedy, dude.
Well, Tom Flood. Why I brought up Tom Flood is because Tom Flood, and it sort of ties into Diesel. Tom Flood was this guy with like who was severely autistic. He wasn't high functioning autistic. He could like barely communicate with you, and he pushed carts at like the Safeway down Route 7 or something. And he would come to Wiseacres for the open mic, and he would go on stage and do his time, but it wasn't jokes or anything, and everyone would laugh at him. And like, but people, so half of it was people being like, we're being supportive, or this is avant-garde, and it's like, no, you're laughing at an autistic man. This is exploitation. That's all it is.
For sure.
And like one time he went on stage and he fucking like he spent the first 2 minutes of his set dragging tables from like the audience onto the stage, and he lines them up and puts 4 chairs behind them, and he's like, oh, the 1984 NBC4 afternoon news broadcast from September 13th, and he's like Mitch Douglas sat here and Kate, and he reenacts some afternoon news broadcast from like 1984 that he remembers, and it's not jokes or anything.
Hell yes.
And I remember Mike Diesel, like he was like, I'm telling you, if you brought that act on the road, it would kill. He is a genius. And it's like, no, Mike. If you brought that act on the road,
Jesus
it
Christ.
would kill. That is Andy Kaufman level genius. It's like, no, you're just fucking laughing. And disabled.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's so dumb, dude. Twitey met him. I saw Twitey at a party, and he was like, "Do you know this Mike Diesel guy?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I know Mike." And he's like, "Yeah, I just worked with him." He's like saying he's been a comic for 30 years, and like, he's like, "I only got 4 teeth left." But like you could see all of Mike's teeth, so Mike was literally lying through his teeth, which is great.
Is it
Foley,
stand-up?
Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Is Tom Green a good stand-up? No.
I don't know, but I don't know.
It's
He's
weird.
He's good. I mean, he's a funny good
It's
dude.
weird that like comedy is so hot right now.
Mike Diesel, one time, like Mike Diesel, I explained him on the podcast before. This guy that booked the fucking
open mic.
he
Bowling
booked,
shirt
he booked,
Pigman.
yeah, he booked wiseacres in Northern Virginia, but he was like a pathological liar or whatever. And so he would, anytime any comic was brought up, he'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna have him through the club," And it's like, we see the headshots on the wall. We know who fucking comes through here.
Right.
It's the drum comic,
the coach,
and then like 40,
the magic
45,
guy?
45 fat guys that all had their like fucking aorta explode at age 37, and they,
From Coke and sandwiches.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, from free comedy club bar food, from fried pickles and King Kong nachos, and all that shit.
Fuck
yeah,
waitresses.
quesadillas with fried chicken in
the
them.
chili burger. Yeah. So one time comics were just talking about Emeril Lagasse, and this is like 10 years ago, so it was when like Emerald's show was real big or whatever.
He was huge.
Yeah, and
Bam was a big joke everywhere.
Yeah. So like two comics were talking about Emerald. I think it was Andy Klein and somebody else. And fucking Diesel comes up and he's like, "Yeah, we're actually gonna have him through the club," because he thought they were just talking about a comic, so he decided to just lie about it. And they were like, "To do what?" And he's like, "Yeah." We're just gonna have him here. To do what, Mike? Just cook on the stage?
Dude, the worst part is I could see Emerald could get booked to headline a club so much better than a good comic with no credits.
Sopranos.
I feel like there's so many. There's got to be a million shitty Long Island comedians that have tried to. They're like, we're gonna have a podcast called The Sopranos, and they don't understand why it's so funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just
100%.
There was this. I told you about Mike Diesel fucking shooting that sketch that one time when I come into Wiseacres, and it's fucking Mike Diesel and Basil White and like Leonard, I don't know, some other fat moron, and they're like shooting a sketch where they've like had all this spaghetti made.
Hell yeah.
They're sitting and they're like fucking pretending to be mobsters, like he's like, pass the rigatoni or whatever. And there was no discernible jokes in the sketch or whatever. And afterwards, Diesel's just walking around with pasta sauce all over his fucking stupid face. And he's like, "Yeah, we're going to go viral with this." It's like 2004, 2005. He has no idea what that term means. "Yeah, we're actually planning on this going viral." So that's where most of the popularity is going to come from, is just going viral.
We're going to put it on YouTube and it's just going to get more hits for no reason.
Yeah.
Wait, was Basil White the guy the autistic guy?
That's a detective-ass name.
Yeah, Basil's this, he was like another big fat Wiseacres guy that would do these awful
the
one-liners.
guy.
Yeah.
That's right.
And was just like so smug. And not particularly condescending, but very much like a smug guy who like taught comedy and just wasn't, particularly good at it.
We got to film that sketch where we eat a bunch of pasta.
Yeah, I mean, if we did it, it would be ironic.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I'm not even kidding. We literally
You
should.
recognize that you have no ability to write any kind of scripted comedy.
I went back to my fat doctor, and this guy had clearly just gotten my results the second I walked in.
He's a fat doctor?
He's fat as hell.
Or he just sees fat people?
No, he's the fat
doctor.
doctor. Yeah.
Stavgo's a fucking old comedian for medical advice.
Who teaches comedy classes despite having
was
no
that
career
an
in
act?
comedy.
A guy named the Fat Doctor?
Oh, yeah. He was this guy in D.C. that was like, I actually tutored Martin Lawrence. Dave Chappelle was under the tutelage of myself, the Fat Doctor. And then he would go up at open mic, sit down on the stool, and like just bomb. Just fucking like, because DC's filled with a lot of like older comedians that happen to know Chappelle or whatever, and their egos can't let them just admit that like, oh, that was a guy that was better than me,
right.
who is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and you're gonna fucking I tutored him because he was younger than you, and you're fucking bitter about it. Oh yeah, I knew him. Just say that. Say I
you
fucking
were in
knew him.
the
That's
same
cool.
places.
Yeah. That would make you a cool guy that people would want to talk to. Say, yeah, I knew Dave Chappelle. It's like, I'm
met
not
him.
friends with him still or anything, but it was cool to see him around.
Tell a story about him
Yeah.
being there and being like, he was good at comedy.
No, I won't respect you unless you're his sensei.
Yeah, I think he
Fat
teaches.
doctor.
Should we teach a comedy course?
Well,
Scout as your
I'm just
closer.
going to independently start saying that I tutored Rory Scovel and all the people I started with that are doing very well.
You're too young, bitch.
I tutored Jermaine Fowler.
That's good. Jermaine works. Yeah. Although he's the same age, I think.
He's older. He's a little older than me.
Yeah, and you're also doing good, bud.
I don't do stand-up anymore.
Well,
Yeah, Nick quit. He's trying to phase the podcast
I'm
out.
like
He's trying to cancel the show.
I'm an electronics guy now. I'm into buying
Game.
I'm a gamer. I fucking love electronics. I wear Gold's gym shirts to the gym and get compliments from the most jacked dude there. That happened today. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
That was the most genuine smile I've seen in months.
Well, it was so funny because
jacked
I'm
guy
in like
complimented your
terrible
shirt.
shape now.
Yeah.
And this dude like does a beeline across the gym to be like, yeah, it's Hollywood, Florida, or Hollywood, Los Angeles, just to,
Yeah.
a conversation.
Sure.
So you can either be strong or you can just wear the shirt.
Wear a Gold's gym shirt.
Yeah.
I think that is a certain type of fat guy too, who rolls around with a fucking weight belt, like the belts that you wear when you're
Yeah.
supposed to.
What are those pants called?
No, that's not a type of guy.
Yes, it is.
I never. You know who should get on Patreon?
Hmm.
Cisco.
Yes.
You should.
New
I give
music.
I give
I'll pay-
$5 a month.
I literally would for songs just sent directly to my fucking
Yeah.
inbox, dude.
Hell yeah.
I want to fucking
No, it's just the
personalize.
thong song every time.
That's
Remix-
fine.
Remix number
Once a
20.
month.
I'll take a remix of the thong song a monthly. I want to be in that subscription
How
service,
about
dude.
that bong hit transplant song?
That's
The
good.
ball. The ball song.
The bong song.
Yeah, she put a bag
Moldy
of chips
banana?
and a moldy old banana.
Also, I've never even seen a banana
Shouts out
get
to the
moldy.
king.
Yeah,
I miss
not
him so
at all
much.
what stoners eat.
I said, yeah, right. Would you have a bong hit transplant? And then everyone at the 7-Eleven turned to me and began applauding. For I had created the greatest joke of all time.
Tommy.
People are doing that, dude. Did I ever tell the story about the show at the Hamilton Arts Collective with Tom
I
Myers?
believe the one with the TV.
Yeah, with the TV
Yes,
that he wheeled
this is
out.
Great stuff.
I don't know
What
if I told the
happened?
story or not. So Tom
You haven't told it.
Tom had a tour of comics one time. He like
Called-
put together. Well, he goes. I told Andy Klein, I'm like, yeah, Tom's got his own tour now with comics. It's him, Brett the Irish Comic, Cat Malone, and I can't remember who else was on it. And fucking Andy Klein goes, "What's it called? The Shitty Comics?"
It was even better though. It was called
the Heathens
the
of Comedy.
Heathens of
Oh,
Comedy.
they're bad.
The fucking
That's
Heathens,
bad.
And
dude.
the logo was a burning cross.
No, it wasn't.
It was. Oh, you got
But that's like a
MySpace.
KKK.
I know. Tom
Yep.
just didn't know. He
Tom
thought it
didn't
meant
know.
like set Jesus on fire. You know?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tom.
So I-
Tommy.
No, the Hamilton Arts Collective had the Heathens of Comedy there. It was hosted by Lucy Fur, which was just a videotape of Brett the Irish Comic wearing sunglasses in front of a fireplace. And
Hosted by a video.
yeah, dude, during Tom's
The job that's only about energy and getting the fucking audience involved.
Tom did a fucking like hour, and during his set, after every setup, Tony Graysick starts going, Tom Myers, Tom Myers. So before he gets to the punchline, everyone's chanting his name, and then he says it, and then the response is, yeah, he like peters out. So he's like bombing.
The king, the once and future king.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
No, that show was bizarre. Like, I mean, he ate it, and he ran off stage crying, and
Oh,
they
no.
Cat Malone. Don't pretend like you give a shit, dude.
It's sad when they
this
try.
fake performative empathy you have
Dude,
for
let me
people that
virtue
you
signal, dude.
for people that you mock.
Have you ever met
relentlessly.
Tom?
Of course I met
You've
Tom.
had the least relationship
I've had the
with
least,
Tom.
definitely the least.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, when I met him, I was already a fan.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
reputation preceded him.
Well, so he was crying, but then you watch him like almost like in a second in his head as the tears are drying on his face, go, no, it's society that's wrong. You know? and then it's like, I killed
Tom
you know?
is Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, he immediately, basically, yeah, it's the same personality
Oh,
type.
God.
They also have the same body and haircut. Also, the same taste in sunglasses. It's weird. The more I think about the Tom Myers,
is Hillary
Clinton,
It's true.
it's probably from
true.
her pussy, which he ate.
Hey, oh, that's how
No,
you become
she never
Hillary Clinton.
got
She's
to
like a
you.
werewolf.
could-
If you eat her pussy, you turn into her.
yeah, I hear she's hiring interns.
The best part of that joke is the adjusting the belt. He says, he says she's probably gonna hire some interns and they adjust the belt.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, like a 50-year-old plumber showing up to eat some pussy.
Gotta adjust the belt.
Postmenopausal, cobwebbed pussy.
Shouts out to Tommy. Dylan told that story about how his brother, Dylan Meyer's brothers.
Yeah.
Tom was his waiter at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, there's a YouTube of him like touring that Mexican restaurant as if it's like going to be the new hot comedy venue. Yeah. But I think it was pretty much just a place that he was working.
Props to him for getting a waiting job. He worked at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
That story about the bong hit transplant, about being in line behind someone, is a lie. He was working at 7-Eleven. Which, everybody's got to work a job. I would take a 7-Eleven job if I had to. When the bottom falls out, I'll be working there.
You think 7-Eleven?
Yeah, that or Chevron or Valero or
Valero. That's the coolest sounding gas station.
Yeah, it sounds like Spanish.
Valero sounds like a sword. Yeah. Zorro's sword could be named Valero.
The boss is like a very slick-looking Spanish man with a pencil-thin mustache and a spy versus spy outfit.
Yeah,
comes in. Where is the money from the gasoline?
The gasoline.
I'm from Ibiza.
Yeah. ¿Qué tienes dinero de gasolina? They're like, do you even know Spanish? No.
Yeah, it's an Indian guy.
My name is Brian.
My name is Brian.
My mom used to get high off battery acid while she was pregnant.
Battery acidio.
I have fetal battery syndrome.
This is a speech impediment.
My mama, her pussy has a seizure when I was born, and it cut off the blood to my brain.
I am from Illinois.
I grow up, I had to wear rubber pants. So to make me cool, I dress like this.
Anyway, please, where the money? Gasoline.
Where'd you get that convertible Duesenberg you drive around in? It's the only car that let the people drive. Because it's so old. At the DMV, they say you can't drive a new car. It's loopholed in.
Oh, that's
good. I can drive a convertible Duesenberg.
Nice
12-cylinder.
Valero owner drives a fucking Duesenberg.
No, he's an employee.
No, he's the owner, dude.
He's the owner?
Excuse me, which way to the urinal so I may clean them? That is my job here. People think I am the owner because of the big feather in my head. But that is actually growing out of my head through the hat. It's a deformity. I don't want to have a feather in my head, but I'm part bird because my mom fucked a green.
Brian, man.
Brian,
you're a wild man.